Welcome back and thanks for staying with us here on the AM Report. The cross-examination of defence witness Sifiso Zungu will continue when the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial resumes this morning. Zungu is the alleged host of that gathering at a hostel in Vosloorus where the murder of the soccer star was allegedly planned by the 5 men who are on trial. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi is live to us from outside court ahead of those proceedings. So Linda, we know who he is now. We know how he allegedly fits into the picture of Senzo Meyiwa's murder. What else are we expecting to hear from his evidence?
Quite a number of points, Michelle, that the state will be touching on during its cross-examination. And you'd recall that they had already indicated to the court that for them this was a 204 witness, somebody who had deposed a statement in terms of Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Act, which basically means that whatever information that he may have given may have also implicated him. But of course, he testified that the statement was taken after he was severely assaulted on 2 different locations and ultimately landing at the Primrose police station where he was informed that Mnisi had already made mention of his name. He says he was shown a stack of documents and he then indicated to the police that whatever that Mnisi has said about me, just take it and put it in the statement. And he says how he signed that document was affixing an S on that particular statement. So essentially, he testifies having really no connection to the content of the statement that the state alleges he made. So critical to the cross-examination will be around whether or not, he made that particular statement. But also, importantly, you would know that the defense, through bringing him, has been directly attacking the evidence of Constable Sifiso Zungu. This is the man who said the 5 men who are on trial were at the Vosloorus hostel on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. This is the day that he says he was there. He was invited by the alleged host, Sifiso Zungu. But according to Sifiso Zungu, he testifies that that did not happen. In fact, he saw him at the hostel in 2017, and the last time he had seen him is when they were much younger. So he then denies that he would have been with Constable Sifiso Zungu. It's an important aspect of the case because obviously it speaks to allegations of conspiracy in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, because ultimately you would know, according to the state, the murder of the soccer star was in fact an orchestrated or a contract killing. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. It was a contract killing, allegedly at the behest of his then girlfriend, singer Kelly Kumalo. So quite a number of important aspects will be touched on when it comes to this cross-examination, because the state has brought evidence that they believe supports the version of Constable Sifiso Zungu. You'd recall, on many occasions, they've cited the issue around the cell phone records that were brought by Vodacom's Binky Vitalingham. The cell phone of accused number 3 having pinged at a tower that is at the Vosloorus hostel. But the version that accused number 3 or the defense came with there is that they were not at the hostel. They were in fact at a different location. But the state believes that this is critical evidence which is independent, that corroborates the version of Constable Sifiso Zungu in the fact that they were at the hostel on that particular day. So this is one of the witnesses who was alleged to have been there when this particular gathering happened. If you go back to the testimony of Zungu, he described a jovial mood. There was singing, dancing, and there was also consumption of alcohol and food. He told the court that at a later stage in the evening, the accused disappeared. He does not know where they went to, but they later came back looking shocked and in haste. And ultimately later, he says accused number 1 then asks a startling question, asking them if they had heard that Senzo Meyiwa had died. And he said at that particular time, it was not even in the news that Senzo Meyiwa had died. So those are some of the aspects that I expected to be touched on, because also he indicated that when they came back into the hostel looking shocked, there was an exchange of firearms. And this alleged host was there and was also participating in that exchange of firearms. He said he had given his service pistol, because he's a police officer, he had given his service pistol to the alleged host for safekeeping. But all those allegations are denied by the alleged host. So all of this is important because, again, Michelle, they speak to the issue around where the murder was allegedly planned.
Quite right, Linda Mnisi, and we continue to watch with interest as we begin to unravel, at least in part, how the murder of Senzo Meyiwa was plotted and perhaps even executed.